engine. Very, very, very bad. Alright, peoples. Today is the day that we drop this down. Ooh, nasty. We drop it down, we clear it out, and it drives off this drive today. That's the plan anyway. Everything's done. It needs, obviously, a big clean-up now, and then a pre-MOT. There's some bits left to go on, miscellaneous bits, and we might put that big can on, may not. But yes, today is emptying it all out, putting all the last bits on, and getting it off the axle stands, and watching it drive for the first time. So, do you know when you haven't been near the job for a while, and you come back, and there used to only be a little bit of oil in there, and now it is full to the rafters. So we've got a nice massive tub full of mixed water and oil. Marvellous. But today's job is to crack the sump plug, get the oil out, what is remaining, because there is a hole, a very tiny little pinhole in the middle of that sump. So hopefully there is some oil left in it, because it's brand new. Get that out, replace the sump, and whilst we're waiting for the oil to drain, because obviously it's freezing and it's just glugging at a slow rate, just emptied it all out. Let's get it cleaned out. First clean outside as well, and then hopefully by the end of this video be off the jacks and off the drive. Gonna have to be done again. You still see bits like, but wow. It's like it just come out of the showroom. Yeah, see what I mean? But obviously how bad it was. Lovely. Now it's time to attack all this jazz. All this nastiness. But yeah, for a once over, let me see again, see all this, what's deep in mould. But yeah, we need to let all these little marks, all where all the tools and stuff's been sat on the seats. I'm just going to shut all the doors now, and then I'm going to give it a good clean. Because, yeah, she's real bad. Real bad. First ever wash. It's come up proper clean, to be fair. It's going to need proper cleaning and probably polishing and whatnot, but wow. Well, at least you don't get hepatitis B getting inside it now as well.
Let me interrupt while John's over there on the drive, absolutely milking that job on the RX8. I've been sent this little Suffren SE1 torch. Full disclosure, I've been sent this to do a product review. I'm not sponsored. We're just been asked to use it in a garage environment. It's a little lightweight aluminium, very bright light. Look at all the little tight spaces that we can get this in. It's magnetic. You can wear it on your hat. You can wear it on your wrist. They've even got a chain that'll go around your neck. They've thought of everything. Now, if you're interested in one of these, I'll leave the link in the description below. Go and check them out. And I know you want to stay here and see what I'm up to, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to pass you back to John while he's dragging that job out on the RX8. Come on, John.
It's a little bit sketchy trying to do this, but just for anyone that might have ever wanted to see. Underneath of a rotary engine. What is it? Now I just need to clean all this old gasket off. Get all this off. And get the other sump that's not got a hole in it. Quick update. All the glue off, sanded back, ready for the new gasket. But we've got to take it off that engine. So I'm going to have to get the crane out, lift that up, drop the oil out, spin it, take the sump off that on the pan, and away we go. Big job just broke out. Again. Look how clean she looks though.
A few moments later.
The amount of effort I just had to go through to get this, but giving it a clean up. It's very good. No, it's a bit rusty, but it's a lot better than that bad boy. Oh, no. Yeah, so now take them trillion bolts from around there. Let's get it off neatly, hopefully. Are you ready for this satisfying noise now? And hopefully that one don't leak. But again, there you go. There's the bottom end of a rotary. Mad. Right, I'm just in the process of cleaning all this edges off now. And I dropped a little bit of glue in there, so I put my finger in. And I was like, oh my God. It's not picking it up. But then I went in there. Oh my gosh. What is all of that? So it looks like I'm going to have to unbolt all of these and give it a thorough clean because we're not having that stuff running through. It's copper. I don't know what it is. I presume it's part of the old engine that's disintegrated. So yeah, she was never going to start. Let's keep going. As if we were trying to get that engine running. Wow. Engine. Very, very, very bad. That isn't rust. That is like copper. So, bit above my pay grade of what it is, but it's definitely part of an engine. See ya. So I had to bring it indoors and spend a lot of time, but could you imagine that I didn't clock and I actually put this isn't even that bad for what I've already taken out of there. It's all over everything. That's obviously the underside. But yeah, had I not taken it out, I've already cleaned this a few times. I'm still a little bit concerned that underneath these little gullies and whatnot, I'm just going to keep cleaning until I'm content. But yeah, there was a reason. There's reasoning behind everything. Let's just spend the next 2 days cleaning this stuff up. Elbow grease and elbow grease and multiple runs. It is getting cleaner. It's just done in all them, in all them little galleries, that, whatever you want to call them. That's worrying me a little bit, but my gosh, it's got to be, by the time I finish cleaning, it's got to be so much better than what it was. It's not the best, because all this paint has started flaking, but it is clean. All the copper and everything is out of there. I wonder about that little splashes of water there. Condensation, we get that. But yeah, that paint's all started coming off, which is not ideal, but I'm pretty sure if it's happened, it's going to happen anyway. So let's put these back on there now, and let's get this glued on and done at last. All back together, and I'm hoping that gasket is suffice. Let's get her back on. Right, one last push on this. Going over every single thing. Now, all I can see that is not connected now is this breather off there, And there's also a breather on there, so I don't know if they're meant to go to each other, but I'll have to do a little bit of research. Doesn't look like it on the angles. We've got a little breather missing off here. A little 10mm missing off that. And to put that back on. And as far as I'm aware, that is it. I've also got this missing, but it just looks aftermarket to me. I don't know if it's an old alarm or something, but that can go. We're not bothered. It runs without it. We just need to get that, I think it's the clutch slave cylinder on, and then we should be able to get some gears and take it off. Fingers crossed. Let's go. Little rewind. So I didn't have the camera set up before, but I got it running and it sounded mega, apart from a blow in the exhaust. And then the coolant light was on, and I remembered I haven't put any coolant in, so I filled it up. And every time I revved it, it's like a little fountain coming up of water here. So I'm now having to take all the airbox off, all this, because I found where it's coming from, but I don't know what pipe goes onto it. So yeah, all of this back out. Let's go. So we're having problems here, but if it does let me rev now, like it did a second ago, listen to her. No, it won't. Dead. Kaput. Engine very bad. Engine very poorly. Getting a bit of temperature though, and the oil one is not so bad. Still got the coolant light and the engine management light. I think I might check the oil now, check the water again, but yeah, I think there's a breather missing or something silly like that. Well, we've got a couple more hoses on here and it's idling perfect on its own. We are still missing one, but we don't know where it goes. Take away the blow, it sounds mega. Look at that. It's gonna put some more water in it now, but well over the moon. Just need to find this one last one. It looks like it goes round there, but can't find it anywhere. But that is running proper now at last.
A few moments later.
Now we're back to square one. Blowing, but it's running rough again. It's got to just be that last air, that last vacuum hose. Won't let me rev, but then before it was spinning the clock. We'll get there.
The next day.
Trying to put back a car that had already been played with by multiple people prior to us getting our hands on it is proving to be extremely difficult. But I have just been online, and for the first time I've found some actual photos of how, so there's 3 holes in this thing, top, middle, bottom. That bottom one defo goes onto that oil thing, but the pipe we had on, we just had it running straight into there. It doesn't do that. It actually comes down and kicks back in there. But what I've just noticed on them is, on the picture I've seen online, this one has a stripe, and the stripe, although that may not be the right pipe, the stripe one goes in the top. And then I also just found a spot, and the spot one goes into the oil there. But like I said, all I've got is a load of pipes that I don't actually think are the pipes. I had that one onto the oil like that, which it works, but the actual picture, it's got a kick, it comes out and it goes back underneath there. That pipe is not here, which also tells me that the pipe that I'm missing for the top is not here, but on the picture that I've got, the pipe comes out of there, goes down and down there. So I'm just gonna have to take all of that off again, and there's got to be a fair size pipe that isn't got a pipe on, a fair size thing that hasn't got a pipe on, a hose on it. So let's take it out again. This is the last day I ever put working on this car. I've had enough of it. So currently we still have this one missing. Not sure where it goes, so I've taken everything off again. This is just a recap because I don't even know where we was up to. But in the process of that, I've dropped a 10 milli socket in there. And I've got a feeling I'm going to have to take all of that inlet off to get it. It's not inside there, it's down there, but we're not leaving it in there. Who said get a Mazda RX8? You know, when you've been looking around and you've got a plug, and you're like, where does this plug go? Well, it goes on there, but that's still on the old engine. Always a good job to keep the old engine in hand. Now, that goes on. Not sure what it does, but hopefully it makes a difference to how it's spluttering. Right. One last push on this car. So we've got to get the battery back on. I do not know where that pipe goes. And at this point, it's not stopping the car from running. So the battery is charged up. It needs to go back on. I've got the brake bleeding kit to bleed the clutch. Hopefully, we can get to see this drive off here today with a little issue. See you soon. Quick little recap. So, in the process of putting all these clips back on, I pulled this bottle back out. I pulled the bottle out, it'd never been out, to put that pipe on. And if you can see in there, that used to come up to here. I've snapped it. So I can't run the car up to temperature, but I know it runs up to temperature prior to snapping that. We're making a decision of whether I'm going to order a new one or it's just getting solder seen or what, I don't know. But I'm still going to do the brake bleeding. We've got the kit here now. I'm going to bleed the clutch and hopefully it will still drive off. We just can't run it up to temp, but I've already run it up to temperature anyway and seen all the heat, felt all the heat coming through. So, let's see if we can find a little something to botch that up today or whatnot. If not, it's just getting left. I still want to see it roll off today. It will be nice to see you. Bye-bye.
She's a spicy meatball!
But yeah, that. But it's only about